Lesson 2, Unit 1, the information environment. Information lives in an ever-changing environment that has a direct effect and influence on its context, meaning, and purpose. To understand information, a project manager needs to look beyond the concept that information is just a collection of data and start looking at information within a much wider and holistic context. Information lives in an environment where change is the only constant. This means that when one element changes, its effects can impact the whole system. The environment consists of the numerous interacting and interdependent social, cultural, economical, and political subsystems that shape the creation, the flow, and the use of information. This environment influences what information is collected, how it is organized, stored, what information is made available, what information is valuable, and which one is not. To be successful with information management, a careful analysis is required of how the elements of the information environment need to be treated. It is not enough to see information as a product. Development projects need to treat information as a whole. An information environment puts people at the center and makes technology an enabler. It has to do more with managing human behaviors than managing technology. For this to happen, a project needs to adopt a holistic approach to information management, an approach that takes in consideration an environment that has a direct impact on information and one that consists of the following factors: information dimensions, information workers, the information standards, information politics and culture, the information governance and strategy, and the information architecture. Information dimensions. Information lives in an environment that requires a definition beyond its basic representations. Information deals with various elements that help define its relevance to the project objectives. Some of these elements are the categories of information, the levels of understanding, the types of representation, the levels of transition, and the levels of responsibility. Categories of information. These categories are used to structure project information. Given a piece of information, it answers the simple question: what type of information are we dealing with? Here's a list, not exhaustive, of the various types of categories that can be used in information management. They include information on beneficiaries, geography, population, economics, legislative, health, political, government information, community information, which includes mostly beneficiary information as well. There's also project information like the team, information about the donor, information from expert domains, partner information, information from other NGOs, cultural information, financial and market information, and weather information. Levels of understanding. The levels of understanding explain how project staff can develop a common understanding of the various sources of information, which in turn helps discover meanings in data and develop an ability to interpret and use information. Questions that a project manager needs to ask include: what understanding do we have of this information? Is there a single definition or there are alternative definitions in use? What background knowledge can help us make the most effective use of information? How did we interpret and use this type of information in the past? Types of representation. The types of representation deals with how the information is presented. Presented the same information in different ways can suggest new meanings or reveal hidden patterns. Some of the main questions here include: how is the information presented or stored? How is the information structured? Is it possible to structure it differently? What are the needs of information users? Do all users interpret information the way it is presented? Do we have all the same understanding or the way we present information? Levels of transition. Transition deals with the changes that might happen to the information over time. The questions associated with the levels of transition include: is the information undergoing any form of transition? Is it likely to change in the future? Has it changed in the past? Would it be redesigned or restructured in any way? If so, what is the impact of the project? Does it create a new opportunity? Levels of responsibility. This is about making sure that someone takes responsibility for the key actions on information, such as creating, distributing, or using it. Resources are always more valuable when someone takes on the appropriate responsibilities for looking after them. This includes questions such as who owns or controls information, who is responsible for collecting all the information, who is responsible for the accuracy or quality of the information, and who is responsible for analyzing the information, and who is responsible for distributing the information. The project manager should use these dimensions to ask critical questions before defining the information management process that will form the basis of the PMIS.